The Federation President, that is Nick Mwenda, has said that the Federation is doing all that they must do so as to replace the 61-year-old Paul Putt, who resigned as Harambee Stars tactician. Putt took charge of the national team in November, and he led the team to go out there and be able to bag the Sekafa Senior Challenge Cup, and he resigned for personal reasons.
But we're not waiting to see his scenario. We have a country to run, we have football to run. And so we are engaging, and I can tell you very interesting conversations around with various coaches around the world. I can tell you Kenya is a big country, that's what I've realized, because there are big coaches, big coaches who are interested to come and work in Kenya. I can tell you that we are not going to be irresponsible. We will pay what we think is fair, because I can tell you some of the demands some of the big coaches are asking for. I do not think Kenya has got there in our performance. We have not finished our infrastructure. We have not finished our development. Even if I bring such a big coach, such as to own, say, 400, maybe Jose Mourinho, 400,000 euros, do I have the material to give them to work with? And so it's more important to invest in the grassroots. And maybe 10 years from today, we can have such a coach, because we'll have the right players to say this coach can work with this right player. Look at Cameroon with Hugo Cruz. And by the way, I can tell you that Hugo Cruz has run out of contract. So maybe you might be interested in talking to him for us. But I can tell you that we our feelings that we need to pay fair, well, but fair. But we cannot pay the same as some countries that are in the World Cup today, because then we are not there, and we might not have the material to give them to work with that warrants us to spend that much. But I can tell you that we're going to look at having somebody with the right philosophy, fantastic, somebody who's a good worker, that can get us to put in the work we need to go beyond Ghana and to go beyond Ethiopia for the Cup of Nations.
Let's talk about the Football Kenya Federation President. That is Nick Mwenda, the man I'm waiting to see on our back. He is a very, very eloquent man, and he's saying they have to do all that they must do so as to replace Paul Putt. Paul Putt did not stay there for long.
You've just calmed out what I was thinking about Nick. That's a brilliant media interview he's just done. But he's bit about the bush at the end of the day, because, yes, we need to concentrate on grassroots football. Some of us have yes, but from a footballing perspective, it's very worrying that Kenya still finds itself running around in circles. The fact that Putt has just left us abruptly means that it brings back memories of a time when the federation was totally dysfunctional. And we thought Nick will do away with that. We thought Nick will bring in some change. We thought Nick will breathe in some fresh air, much needed. And for some time, that fairy tale proved to be working along that script. Silence in the federation meant that they're probably working. But now Putt has left. We're told personal reasons. There's no official line that tells you what personal reasons means. What is personal reasons? Is it health problems? Is it greener pastures? What is it? You see, I'm seated here. I'm supposed to be telling Kenyans what personal reasons means. Yet I'm here asking what personal reasons means. So I must congratulate the media for once. They've done a brilliant job. They've dug out this investigation on their own independently. There's talk of Paul Putt going to Guinea to take over the reins there. And there's also talk of him going to China, a lucrative offer on the table for him. And there's also talk that Putt was rather disgusted, and perhaps this is what personal reasons meant, with the fact that he couldn't bring on board his preferred technical bench. Now, when they were signing him on, didn't they finalize on this very essential details?
But according to the president, if we should believe what he's saying that Paul Putt did not actually say that they had any ill doings with the federation.
Fine, yeah, that's well and true. But now there's still this talk of a technical bench that never was, that Paul Putt wanted in place. What does that say about his relationship, his working relationship with Stanley Okumbi? Didn't he have faith in Stanley Okumbi? Stanley Okumbi's now means that Stanley Okumbi comes back as caretaker manager, if anything. That's not a step forward. It's not a step in the right direction. It's a step backwards. Why? Because Stanley Okumbi, in my very humble view, doesn't have what it takes. You need to be a ringleader. You need to be passionate. You need to be able to inspire the media, to inspire the players, to inspire yourself. He doesn't come across as the kind of guy who can take Kenya to the qualifiers of African Cup of Nations, home and away matches. I've just mentioned about our awful away forms. And then go on to the Cup of Nations and win it. He doesn't inspire. So this takes us back, steps backwards, and it brings back awful memories. I must tell you very quickly that there's a generation of Kenyans that's just come on. They've never seen a functional football federation. At least I have. I'm old enough to have seen one or two. This generation of Kenyans was hoping that now is the time, especially after we won the Sekafa tournament. But now it looks like we're going back to the nightmares. And then also to fault government. Government needs to speak on this issue. Government needs to give a blueprint. It needs to give a way forward. There's a new cabinet secretary for sports. If anyone among those new cabinet nominees who got sworn in and confirmed as cabinet secretaries, he's one guy who has a lot to prove, and he should have hit the ground running. What better time this would have been?